Let's talk about knit weaving this time. Knit weaving can be done on just about any machine you've got. I've not found a machine yet that couldn't do it. It's just a matter of hand manipulation of the stitches. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and put the second needle out. I've got a darker color here. It's going to contrast well with the lighter green. And I'm going to put that over that needle right up against the peg. And I'm going to go ahead and clip a little weight on, a bit of a weight on here, just to keep it even. Now let's suppose we want to do a 3-stitch pull-up. There's lots of different ways. You can just go ahead and do it under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over. This gets kind of boring. But it kind of looks nice when you do the entire thing, because you've got a second stitch here. Your first stitch, of course, I'll show you the difference of what you've got going here just by having this last end needle as a woven stitch too. So let's knit across. I'm going to go ahead and push this one out too, just because I like to have the needles even. Okay. Now we're going to come back across. Now we're going to go ahead and do the same thing that we did so that we can have, well, maybe we'll do it opposite. Yeah, we'll do it opposite. So we'll have over, under, over, get going on the other side here so I don't get in front of the camera. That's hard to do, you know. That's not the easiest thing in the world. And we're just doing over, under, very simplistic. Over and under, and then over on our last one. Push the yarn back. You can hold it gently. You don't want to pull it down too much to where you've got the needles coming and scrunching in. You don't want that. You want a little bit of looseness because you're working with another thread that's going to be an embellishment to your knits. This is going to be, of course, on the purl side. So let's go ahead and knit a couple rows of that. See what you've done? You've made a nice little, almost like X's going across by having it go one and then the other and then one and then the other. Let's try doing it with 3 needles at once. So we'll take our first one, and then we're going to take 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1. Generally, you don't want to have the thread in the first one, but I don't mind. It doesn't bother me because it gets lost in the seaming anyway. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and knit across on that. Now we're going to go ahead and do the exact same needles this time. We're going to come over 3, you get one on the other side here, over, down, 2, 3, over, 1, 2, 3, over. And we're going to go ahead and pull out this needle too. Just because, like I say, I like to have my needles even. I don't like having some out in one position, some out in another, because sometimes they can catch and just not cooperate. Okay, so we're going to go across here. Now what we've got is we have several different, we have this one stitch right here that's going over 3 needles. So we're going to take and hook it into our middle needle. You could hook it into one side or the other side, doesn't matter, whatever you happen to want to do. But for right now, we're just going to show you what it looks like when we hook it into just the middle one. And we've only got 3 sets of this across here. See, we've got this one too. So we're going to go ahead and knit that. And we can knit it with a stitch in there or without a stitch in another row going across, doesn't really matter. It's whatever you happen to prefer to do. But I always take, when I've got more than 2 or 3 stitches added on to something, I'll go ahead and make sure that I have got all of my needles out. Now, see, one thing we've got right here, take a look. That means this yarn is now behind. I don't want that. I want it in front of my regular knit stitch. Otherwise, we're going to have the dark green coming through on the other side. Let's take a look at what this looks like now. See, you've taken and done a pull-up stitch It's taken you a couple of rows, but if you do it again and again and again, it's really going to show up in your knitting as a lovely, lovely embellishment to whatever it is you're making.